Okay, great. Welcome everybody to this webinar that you joined in to hear more about the International Management Program from Franklin University in Switzerland, a program built by employers for future business leaders. Well, what that is all about, you will hear in the next 45 minutes or so. But before that, let me briefly explain to you what the interactive options are here. My name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today. And yeah, we do have a great lineup of presenters in Franklin lined up for you. However, before that, let me see some of the options. First of all, you can say where you're from in the chat. So at the right bottom, you see a little chat button, and you can tell us where you're logging in from, just for the presenters to also have an idea. Of course, important is also you have the option to ask questions. So you can do that via the question box. Please do it there in the panel called questions, because then it's more coordinated also for the presenters to see your questions clearly and we don't miss them. Besides that, we will open up a couple of poll questions. Actually, we have a first question already just right now on the screen. So you can tell us a bit about your background. Let us know, and we will open up a couple of more poll questions throughout the session. And last but not least, we have a little fun button as well. At the bottom of the screen, there is a button called React. And if you click on that, you can give us your reaction. Exactly, that's the one. Yes, we like to get those. So that's just to make it a bit more fun and also interactive for the presenters to make sure, they see that there's other people on the other side. Talking about presenters, let's go over to them. As mentioned, we have a great lineup of presenters. They will introduce themselves as we go along, but we will start with the program coordinators and program director, Julia Miniero and Mario Schultz. They will introduce themselves briefly, and then we'll kick off the presentation. So good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much, Luke. I'm Julia Miniero. I'm very happy to be here. Welcome to this introduction session on the Master of Science in International Management offered by Franklin University. I am a professor of marketing at Franklin, and I'm also the director of the program. And I'm happy today to start introducing you not only the program, the graduate program that we offer at Franklin, but also to give you a bit of introduction on Franklin University and what Franklin University is. Franklin University is a dual accredited university institution in the heart of Switzerland. We are in Lugano, that is in the southern part of Switzerland, very close to Italy, very close to France and Germany. So we are really at the heart of Switzerland. And we offer a liberal art education. A liberal art education that means an interdisciplinary approach to the different disciplinary. Also, as you will see in international management, that is the discipline of the program that we are talking about today. We are a small university. We have a total of 49-50 faculty, and about a half is full-time. So we have a small faculty, a small and committed faculty that really live and experience the campus every day. And we have also a small cohort of students, very small but united cohort of students that come from all over the world. We are a very international universities. We are an American university based in Switzerland, but we really clearly represent every country in the world. We have more than 61 nationalities represented at Franklin, not only in the student body, but also in the faculty body and in the staff body. So yes, you will come, you will enjoy Switzerland, but you will also enjoy a very diverse cultural community here at Franklin. Now, my colleague Mario Schultz, the program coordinator, will give some preliminary information on the program.
Thank you very much, Julia, and welcome everyone. Really excited to have you all here on board. I saw so many nations joining: Kyrgyzstan, Hungary, Russia, Spain. It's amazing to have you all here in our webinar. Now, I would like to dive a little bit deeper into the program details. As Professor Mignaro mentioned, my name is Mario Schulz. I'm Professor of International Management and also a sort of background guiding hand in terms of the program. That's why we will look together into the program facts and figures, that you get some more background knowledge what this is about here. Now, this program is a 12-month master program. That's full-time. Of course, if you're working part-time, that might not be it for you. So make sure that you understand we have here a full-time program at hand that covers 90 European credits, which makes it equivalent to 45 US credits if you're from the US system. A program that is taught in English. All the courses are taught by international staff, and we have tiny classrooms. As you see here in the picture, that's Professor Mignaro, in fact, teaching outside in our lawn directly here in front of us. With a couple of students. That's about the size that you might expect from our program. Maybe up to a max of 20 students can actually fit into our classroom, so that you get an understanding of what kind of a interactive setting you will find. Now, we've mentioned or heard already, it's a program that is rooted in the liberal arts tradition, meaning we are really keen on transdisciplinary thinkers. We are keen to have a management perspective that is informed by the liberal arts tradition, that is informed by various subject matters, including political sciences, including, of course, the natural sciences, including the arts, including literature studies, and so forth. So deeply also rooted in the humanities. And that gives a great twist in terms of the management education that you will receive here, because that sets us so much apart from all the other business schools. With that unique training, you can provide maybe the 2% difference that no one else has in the world to offer. And we bridge our classroom teaching with in-corporate training, so you will have the chance to really dive into practicalities of the real world with the partnerships that we have on campus. So for you to get a little bit more deeper into the details, what we offer is a really in-depth fall semester where you have to take foundational courses that are, of course, transdisciplinary, not just management, but we also have courses that cover various subject matters that have close connection to the liberal arts, meaning myself, I'm coming from a background of corporate social responsibility, business ethics, so I'm teaching a course in corporate sustainability that sets the foundational work for some of the specific courses that you see then in the spring semester. So when you specialize in business and sustainability, you take, first of all, a foundational course, while then diving into the details of what it means to tackle corporate sustainability and corporate carbon reduction programs when you later on work in that field. Of course, we offer two other very important tracks, meaning a track now recently emerging that's rooted in arts and luxury management, as well as digital transformation. These are our core main specializations. These are our strengths also in terms of the faculty that we have here on board. And these are the places where you can really dive deep into nurturing your skills that you then can potentially apply during your in-corporate training that will take place during the summer, where we have our partnerships where you can basically, during a 6-week training program, get a glimpse into the real world and apply what you've learned during the fall and spring. The entire program is, of course, academic. So nevertheless, there's a very crucial final important component, meaning the thesis. So you have to complete by the end of your studies a master's thesis to then be ready for the job market. That is our hope, and this is what we try to offer all together, not just, of course, Professor Miniero and me, but also the entire team that is helping with this. So you already see below, probably in the little windows that are open, our admissions coordinator and manager, Sara Diviani, and also Tiziana Hu, were the helping hands in the background that make sure that this program runs. But of course, we have to mention all the faculty that is involved here. Something very unique about Franklin University is that we have in this master program in international management, professors such as Charles Burke that you see below here, that come from other disciplines. So we have political scientists, we have environmental scientists, we have experts from various fields that are not directly management that inform this study program, and this really offers a rich, diverse, and broad perspective that makes you stand out later in the job market. So this is our setup, and I'll hand over the word to Professor Miniero, who will give you a bit more about the structure.
Yes, thank you. I think that it's very important to say that with all our colleagues at Franklin University, we build this structure of the program. So I would like now to outline to you what spending 12 months at Franklin attending the MSIM program would look like. So as you see, we have the program that is split in 3 different semesters: the fall semester, the spring semester, and the summer term, let's say, because it's shorter than an entire semester. What students would do in the fall semester? Foundation courses in international management, because it's very important for us to signal that this program is open to all students coming from different bachelor degrees. So it's important that we create a very diverse cohort of students that can contribute and can nurture each other with their different set of expertise, interests, and passion. And so what do we do at the beginning of the program? We try to set the foundations in management for all this very diverse cohort. And so at the beginning of the fall semester, all students attend foundation courses in management to set the background, to create a common knowledge and a common understanding of the basic concept of management that then will enable the students to succeed in the fall semester when attending the management courses, the advanced, the graduate level management courses. What is peculiar about these courses? What is peculiar is their pedagogy, their approach that Franklin faculty bring to the class. These are courses in management, in international management, but are taught by a very transdisciplinary faculty that is able to bridge different disciplines, that is able to speak different languages in terms of content, in terms of discipline. So is able to provide to students multiple perspectives on managerial topics. So the fall semester is aimed at setting the foundation and equipping all students with a solid, rigorous, transdisciplinary knowledge in management. What happens then in the spring semester, that the students can choose their track of specialization, and we will learn more about the different tracks in a second with Professor Schulz. But the spring semester is where students can choose their specialization, and they can choose from 3 different tracks. And so students will attend courses that will specialize in the area of art and luxury, or business and sustainability, or digital transformation. Then to culminate in the summer term, in the summer experience, where students will have the possibility to join one of our partner institutions for at least a 6 weeks experience in company training. So they will work on a daily basis with one of our partner institutions according to the field, to the track of specialization. And this will also inform the thesis. The thesis defense that will be normally at the end of July, when the program ends. As I mentioned, we have a pretty an intense fall semester that starts at the mid-August and ends at the end of January. As you see in the fall semester, students cover more than half of the credits of the program, 27 credits. This is, yes, very intense, but very interesting, very fun semester in which students have the possibility to get a solid knowledge, a solid preparation, a solid academic preparation in management with a liberal arts approach. You see that beside the, let's say, traditional courses in management, such as, for example, business analytics, digital transformation, or strategic marketing that I teach myself, you have the liberal art twist, the liberal art approach that is very unique to Franklin, and also that makes this program unique, like courses in visual arts and team building, or courses in innovation and design thinking. We strongly believe here at Franklin that the management education really benefits from a transdisciplinary approach, from a liberal art approach, and this is what makes this program very special and unique, and also what sets this program apart from other Master of Science in International Management that are offered by other universities. Mario, you now speak about the spring semester.
Thank you, Julia. Yes. Now it's the time, of course, to dive deeper into the moment when you've completed the fall semester with all these really in-depth foundational courses. Now, once you've successfully completed that part, you would dive into what you see in front of you here, more in-depth courses that said, let's call them more specialization focuses first, that everyone will have to take or can take in terms of getting further knowledge in terms of how to negotiate or how remuneration management systems work in a corporate context, or leadership in general. Now, these are courses that, again, are rooted in the broad and big understanding of liberal arts. As you've heard these words over and over, just a few more explanation what this means for us. So a master in international management with a core liberal arts tradition in the back means that we want you here to become broad generalists, experts that are able to think across the board, that are able to think really broadly about the issues at hand, that are, of course, specializing in international management, but of course then still able to solve real world issues. And this, in our opinion, really requires that breadth of knowledge, meaning all these various courses that you see here, but also flexibility of mind. And with that curriculum that you see here at hand, we try to offer you that opportunity that you don't become locked up in a certain field, but you really have the flexibility to deal with real world issues. So the 3 track specific components that you have here at hand, business sustainability, digital transformation, arts management, these 3 tracks give you the chance to set your specialization, but nevertheless, you can double dip in a sense. You can pick courses from these other specializations such that you really build bridges between disciplines that really interest you. What I can point out here in front of me, of course, is a really great connect between the digital transformation track, courses such as the digitalization and future of business that can really, again, benefit an understanding in the arts management and luxury. So here you see how bridges can be built and can really help you fine-grain your curriculum. Now, once all this is completed, of course, you will head off to a corporation and do your 6-week practical experience, which can help you to apply all this and knowledge that you've gained. And the question then remains, of course, is this for you? Is this the right track? Well, we give you the chance to explore all that throughout the entire foundational semester. We give you the chance until the beginning of January, or almost the end of January, I think, if Tiziana can correct me if I mention wrong things here. Now, you can, of course, choose after exploring the full curriculum, after seeing how you like these different areas, how you liked certain subject matters. So your focus is basically decided in early Jan, and you dive into the next steps where you can see here the possibility to do in-company training. Now, broadly speaking, is this track for you here, art and luxury management? If you're really curious about an industry that is emerging, that ticks substantially different from any kind of normal, regular business context, that deals with, of course, paradoxical notions of desire, art, well, with respect to indulgence, also many different philosophical aspects, well, arts and luxury might be for you. Digital transformation is a track, I think, that can cross-fertilize all the others, because it's such a hot topic, that's such important aspects that are raised here that can really benefit anyone. But if you want to dive deeper into digital finance, digital marketing, if you want to apply elements of AI or see how AI is applied in a real world business context, well, that's the track for you. And if you're more looking for an international experience, aimed not for a for-profit organization, but more for an international organization, then you should really discover what we have to offer in our business and sustainability track, meaning the input that we get from experts from UNITAR, so the United Nations Institute of Training and Research, and not only the class that we have taught by these experts, but also their practical experience component that can really enrich your curriculum if you're out for an international career. Now, that's the broad setup, and I think rather than going into all the details, I give you just a final overview of the academic calendar, because then we have more time to go through your questions and to go over the points that one of our colleagues, Professor Berg, will make in his applied glimpse into the real teaching at FUS. Now, thank you all very much. That's from my side a glimpse into the curriculum that we have to offer, and I'll hand the word over to my colleague, Charles Berg.
Thanks very much, Mario. So I'm Professor Charles Burke, and I'm a professor of data science at Franklin University, Switzerland. I teach a couple of courses in the MSIM program. So one is business analytics, and the second, which is a new course that I'll be teaching this semester, is AI for research. And so, you know, I always think when I'm talking to students or prospective students, think about sort of explaining what the value of a master's degree is, and what a value of a master's degree at Franklin is. And to me, it comes down to three things. If you're going to get your master's degree, well, credentials, of course. And credentials, I think, you know, large schools with name recognition, they probably have the advantage there. And then I think about, are the skills that you're going to develop current? And that's potentially where Franklin does have the advantage. And that's what I'm going to show you today. And then the last one is control. And it's not us controlling you, but being in control of your academic, you know, career during your master's degree, and particularly when it comes to your thesis. These two things, I think small schools in general have an advantage, and Franklin in particular. So think about those things: credentials, the value of credentials. And I think, you know, sort of the name recognition value of credentials is sort of diminishing over time. And in the workforce, particularly, the main focus is on skills. Do you have not just the right skills, but are your skills up to date or current? And then have you sort of controlled your direction in your academic career? Are you the decision maker, or is someone else making the decisions for you? And so at big schools, a lot of those decisions are going to be made for you. You're going to go into maybe a big laboratory to do research, and whatever the supervisor is sort of working on at that time is what you'll take on. Whereas at Franklin, you know, it really is in your control, your focus. And I'll talk about those two things. So I'll share my screen. And let me just share my entire screen here. And so I'm going to show you this. When we talk about current skills, to me, I made the switch both in my business analytics class and then developing this class, AI for Research, from the software programs, the tools, the analytical programs that I'm really, really comfortable with. And so last semester, we were working with, say, something like Tableau Prep. And Tableau Prep is a really great tool for something like data cleaning. And then over the course of the summer, I started picking up GPT-4 back when it was advanced data analysis, and then it became sort of integrated into GPT-4, just the ability to work with data. And so now this is my tool that I use myself, and it's the tool that I use to teach all of you should you come to Franklin. And so I'll just show you one of the things that we would do in class and one of the things that I'm actually doing for class as well myself. And this is a data cleaning task that's fairly simple using GPT, but it would take me probably a few hours. And it's very, very simple. You just start with something. This is a data set, and the data set is actually UFO encounters over time. And we use this to do things like time series analysis. And the real major problem with this data set, there's two things, is if we're focused on time series of dates, well, we've got dates in two different formats here. So you can see one with the slashes and one with the dots. And so the one with the slashes right now is being treated as text, and then the one with the dots is being treated as time. And so that can be a huge challenge if we're trying to look at this, which is a specific series of dates over time. So we got to address that somehow. The next one you'll see over here is this encounter duration. And so you'll see that encounter duration, we want it to be time. We want it to be something that we can add and average, and sort of measure, total up and sum. We've got things like 45 minutes and 1 to 2 hours with a dash, and 1/2 hour, which is 1/2, and then we have things about 3 minutes. We have things several minutes. We have 20 seconds. We have 1 hour question mark. We have approximately 30 seconds. All of these things, 4.5 or more minutes. All these things are absolutely nightmare if we want to analyze this particular category. So what do we do? In the past, like I said, we go to something like Tableau Prep, and I would separate all the text and all the numbers, and then I'd have to go through and I'd deal with the special characters and things like that. It would take me a few hours, and with students, it might take me a full class. Working with prompt engineering, trying to understand how to prompt an AI, and really focus on some key things that make AI work for you. You can take all that time and turn it into one prompt that might take a few minutes, if you're lucky and if you're describing things correctly. And so some of the things that are really useful when you're talking with an AI is give it a role, give it a very specific task, where, break it down into two parts. So we've got two goals here. One, focus on that date documented, where we've got dates in two different formats. And then the second, converting this encounter duration. And we want it to, produce a consistent numerical format. And this is the format 00.00.00, and giving it some very specific examples. So if you see something like 1/2 hour, that would be 30 minutes. If you see 1 to 2 hours, we're going to put that at 1 hour, 30 minutes. If you see something like several minutes, we'll put that at 7 minutes. 20 seconds is 20 seconds. So giving it some examples, and this is called, say, few shot prompting. So giving it some examples, and having it reason step by step this solution. And so it's reasoning a solution for me. It's breaking it down, and I can go and check this solution and say, yeah, you're right. Minutes is minutes, hours is hours, second is second. If we see these fractional things, we have to do something with it. So I can see it reasoning, and the reasoning is following the different prompts that I gave it. So I can see that it's addressing these challenges like ambiguities and inconsistencies and ranges. And now it's going to write some functions that allow us to do that. So it's starting to read the data, so I can go in and I can actually see the code that it's writing. And so now you have, say, like a 5-year-old kid that you have to sort of explain everything to in great detail, but a 5-year-old kid who's like an intermediate programmer in Python. So this, you as an individual, even if you don't have a background in data science or computer science, it can really scale you up. So these would be the current skills that you would be getting at a program like ours. So you can see it right now addressing this really difficult problem. Something that would take me a very long time to think through in code. I probably have a bunch of things on the whiteboard. What do I have to address? Also, there are 79,000 different encounters in this. And so I would have to go through and start trying to address on an individual level, which would be impossible for me, all of these different variations. But because it's automating the process, it's doing some machine learning in the background, it's picking up all those different variations, and it is addressing them, as you can see here, with different expressions. So different expressions for different patterns. And this would be something that I would do myself, and I would be very, very limited because I couldn't go through 79 different encounters. It would take me hours and hours and hours. So this is something that's sort of taking the time that you would be working with data and scaling you up, scaling whatever the skills you have up. But it does take practice. It's not so easy as just to say, okay, we're going to do this prompt and then it works 100% every time. So I've actually given you some prompt principles here, and I've shared it with you, and so you can take that away from this webinar. And some of the interesting things, so I pointed out, so you don't need to be polite to it. I was always very polite to GPT-4. I mean, I turned it into like a human being and my friend and told it how much I like working with and stuff. But I mean, it doesn't actually improves your morale working with it, thinking of it as like a sort of a human or a partner. Some of the ones that I've also pointed out, give it a role, make sure it knows its audience, be example driven. So this few shot prompting, incorporate phrases like your task is, be very clear what your task is. If there are some things you want to avoid, say you'll be penalized for this. And my favorite one, and I think it's because maybe ChatGPT has sort of developed in America, and we're like a very tipping culture. We tip everybody and everything. So if you add, I'm going to tip you for the best solution, it actually improves the outcome. And so this is, I think, Mohammed bin Zayed University has tested all of these. I want to attribute them, correctly. And so this is my favorite one. So sometimes I'll say, I'm going to give you a tip. I'm going to tip you $50 for the best solution. So this is data cleaning. This is its final output. If we go to UFO final. So now if we take a look at the encounter duration, it's in the correct format. And if we go over to our documented time, all the time is now, you can see it justified over to the right rather than left. So it's being treated as a date. So that's, in a nutshell, what we're working with, say in the MSIM here at Franklin. And it really is adapting really, really quickly. And you can actually see it didn't completely do what I wanted. So I said, okay, give me the data set, export it for me. And I opened it up and it didn't actually address that date documented. It focused on this conversion here, but it didn't do this. And so validating GPT's output is also really important too, because it's very unlikely you're going to get exactly what you want in the first go. It's like sort of autocorrect or autocomplete in your text. Sometimes it gets the sentence that you want to write correct 100%, but often you've got to follow up and say, hey, you didn't do this. Is that not an issue? Okay, yes, let me try that again. So it's a collaborative process. It takes some work. It's a skill that needs to be learned, but that skill, can be learned here at Franklin University. And the last one, so I said, this is the type of skills that we hope to give you. The last one is this Warhol causality. And so Warhol causality, this is actually the thesis of one of the students that you're going to talk to just in a short time. And so if we scroll through this, this is me actually working with Andy Warhol prints data. So it's the arts and luxury management. So Andy Warhol, very famous printmaker. And this would be not something that I would normally do because my background is in things like transportation, engineering, geography, those type of things. But because the student at Franklin is sort of driving the thesis and saying, hey, this is what I'm really interested in. I'm really interested in the arts. I'm really interested in looking at, how the arts have an impact on the broader economy. Can you help me with that? And so then I can take that idea from the student and we can work together to build out that thesis, to build out that analysis. So, it's really student driven, whereas at large universities, it'd be the exact opposite. I would be telling her, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do some, sustainable transportation engineering, and this is what we were going to look at, and this is the data set we're going to use. But really at Franklin, is very student driven. So this is a Warhol causality analysis. What we're seeing is, does Warhol prints, have some sort of causal connection with broader economic changes? And so that's the thesis that she's going to be presenting in just a few weeks. And so I'm actually going to turn it over to my student Katerina, and she can follow up a little bit on her experience and tell you about her experience here at Franklin. So thanks so much, everybody, and I hope to see you on campus sometime soon.
Hi. So yeah, thank you. As Professor Berg told you, I'm currently, I finished my thesis. I have to present it in a week, and I wanted to see something, a relation between the art market and the economy, and that's, I think, a very good example of what Professor Miniero and Professor Schultz told you. We have a diverse group of professors. They have different skills and qualities, and not qualities, but skills and knowledge, and that helps you find the right person for your thesis or for your interest. And they're always ready to help in case you are interested in something, you need help, they're there for you. And for my experience and a bit more generally about Franklin, I come from a very theoretical background. I come from an arts and social sciences background. And I wanted to find out something more about the business side, as well as new knowledge about data, as well as digitalization. And I think Franklin is perfect for that, and it's perfect for people like me that have a background in more arts and social sciences, because it mixes those two aspects, which is great for a future professional. But not only that, I think the skills and knowledge I've acquired here, I could use in the professional field, but also in my private life. It helps you understand how to work with different people, seeing that the students come from different backgrounds and different nations will help you work with people from different backgrounds, different knowledge, people that you wouldn't normally meet, and maybe you would not directly find a common ground. But this program does help you with that as well. And you've kind of understood I'm interested in the arts and culture field, which is why I'm doing the arts management program. And I think it did help me a lot in that, and also helped me being more clear about what exactly I want to do in the future. I'm going to be done at the end of January, actually, with the program. And currently I'm looking for jobs that do mix those kind of more managerial skills with and applied to the art and cultural field. And that's a short introduction about my experience. And I think now Corina will also give you her experience from someone that graduated a few years ago.
I think it's okay for me to jump in then. Hello, everyone. I did the program 2 years ago. I earned my master's 2 years ago, and I'm originally from Brazil. So let's start from the beginning. I'm originally from Brazil. I went to Lugano for the master's at Franklin because I really thought it was interest, and it was my goal in my career to work for international organization. And this partnership that they have with UNITAR, that is the international organization that I work for today, really, really got my attention, and I'm really happy that I did it. I had a really good experience. Everything that Katerina said, I agree completely. The group of students that were with me, they were all from different countries, and this was really, really nice. And all of the professors as well, they were really nice and really open to talk to you and for you to explain what you're interested in, and even afterwards to get a job. I think from my cohort, 4 of us got jobs by using our professors' network as well. So it was a really, really good experience for me. And yeah, so after I finished the masters, I was offered a trainee here at UNITAR. And in this trainee, I got to work with my boss right now, Miharu Kumamoto, and she is going to be teaching the course this next semester for the business sustainability track. So yes, it's a good opportunity. Since it is a small cohort, it's a good opportunity for you to get some visibility on your work as well. So this capstone project that we have in partnership with Franklin, it's a bit funny to talk on behalf of UNITAR, since I'm alumni of Franklin. But yes, no, this capstone project that we do together is really nice and can give you some visibility and help you to show, for example, the director or the project manager that you're interested in the subject, and you work well, and maybe get a traineeship or even directly a job with us. So I think it's worth to try. I personally think it's a positive experience. I didn't had any problems, and everyone was very nice and willing to help me at Franklin. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful for Franklin and the program.
Thank you, Karina. It's so nice to have you back with us. And I'm so happy we will still be working together, as you will be. You are a UNITAR, and we still have a partnership with you. So my name is Sarah. I'm the graduate admission manager. So everything you need for your application, once you decide to apply, or any kind of information about the program, about the logistic, about Lugano, about Franklin, please be in touch. I'm here to help you. And I'm going to give you some information now about the requirement. I saw that a lot of you asked this question already. So you can see here our requirements for admission. The most important things is a personal statement and your CV. Of course, we need your bachelor degree, but it's very important your personal statement, where you tell us why you are interested in doing this master, what you can bring to us. And then we need some professional or academic recommendation, and evidence of English language proficiency. That could be a TOEFL or IELTS. Of course, if you did your degree, your bachelor degree in English, we don't require that. And then a copy of your passport. But I will be there helping you all the way. So just don't worry, ask me questions, and we can sort everything out. And we can look at your material and see what's missing, or how we can make it better. Then a lot of questions about the tuition fee. That is on the next slide. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I had a technical comment. So the tuition fee for the 1-year master is 25,000 Swiss francs. Underneath, you can see some estimate cost. So you can more or less have an idea how much it's going to cost you to study at Franklin in Switzerland. We have some small scholarship available. Again, get in touch with me. We can discuss it. We can find a way forward. We are really happy to help. If we can help, we are here for that. Something I forgot, sorry, is housing. As graduate students, we don't ask you to stay on campus, but we offer some, we have the possibility of on-campus housing. But that's up to you. If you prefer to stay off campus and rent your own flat, that's possible as well. So it's just a question of thinking a little bit earlier so we can sort it out together. I think everything else you can find it on the website, or you can email me. You will find my email probably at the end. If not, I can write it on the chat, or you can find me on the website, and we can set up a call or a video call, anything you prefer. So for now, thank you very much.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for these presentations already. And now this is the time for the audience, for you, all of you that are watching, whether you're watching live or if you're maybe watching the recording, you can all, let us know your questions. For the ones live, of course, we can answer them right away now. But I know a lot of people these days watch also the recording. You can also still write your questions. So you can still use this platform with all the interactive options. Of course, we cannot answer you live right away, but we can come back to you by email, as we will be forwarding the questions to probably Sarah and Tiziana, to the staff, to come back to you. So we already received some questions. Let's dive in, because they might be useful for any of you. So let's start off with a question from Bowie. Bowie was asking, may I know the tuition fee? And I think that was given, but the application requirements for the master's program, I take that has been answered. Meanwhile, this was a question that came in the beginning. Bowie, let us know otherwise if you still want to know something more that wasn't clear. Next question I will go to is from Amer. How to get an opportunity to do a PhD in your university? So yeah, this session is about the master's program, as also the professor that answered it. I think it was Mario. Given that, Mario, you maybe want to comment a bit on that?
Sure, let me quickly jump in there. Yeah, thank you, Amar, for the question. I think really important with regard to doing a PhD, that you're sure about your specialization, you're sure about where you want to focus on, because a PhD, of course, is a very, very strong time requirement. Of course, that gets us a little bit more into a different angle of discussion as we're here today for the master program. So drop us an email if you're interested in this regard, and we can follow up and look for more discussion on what you're aiming for here.
Yeah, thank you. That is useful, and I hope that answered that question. Next question received from Nikitas. Can you forward a pamphlet for me on the business subjects and inform me on specific requirements to apply? So yeah, I guess we can come back to you by email. And the requirements were given on the screen. So they're basically in the slide that Sarah just presented right here. Do you want to add something else to that, Sarah?
I think that on our website is the best way to find a copy of the brochure and the information about the program. But of course, we can drop her an email with the brochure if it's preferred.
Okay, that helps. Then I will drop the links to the also the actual application site in a second as well, so to the chat. So just to make sure for those people, because we did a poll seeing for all the people who are interested to apply in already this fall, so especially for them it will be useful. Next question from Tyra. Is the GRE or the GMAT required to apply?
No, it's not. Simple answer. We don't require GRE or GMAT.
Well, that's indeed very straight to the point. And very clear, hopefully, to you as well, Tyra, sorry. Question from Amir. When is the deadline for the fall 2024 intake?
So we don't have a deadline. I think it's more due to the fact if you need a visa to study in Switzerland. So if you need a visa, your application should be ready and finished at, I would say, around middle of May, in order then to give the time to immigration to do all the stuff about your visa application. If you don't require a visa, beginning of July, middle of July. And just to remind you, for fall 24, the starting of the courses are around middle of August, end of August.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I saw this follow-up question from Amir as well. How is the study and free time balance? Yeah, good question maybe for the students. Maybe Katarina, you're studying it currently. How is it for you, the study and the free time balance?
I think you should be organized and try to plan in advance, although seeing that Franklin is trying to bring also professionals from the fields and that actually are either experts in the arts or in the other specializations. Sometimes the program does change short term kind of, but in general it's pretty good. There are intense times before the exams. Like for us last semester in November and December were quite full because we had a lot of deadlines and exams. But for the rest, you will be able to enjoy your weekends and do some weekend trips and so on.
Perfect. Do you want to comment something about that as well, Karina?
I think Katerina is better for this because the masters that I did was a bit different. There was a few changes, but it was similar to what she said, so I think it's okay.
Good. Thanks a lot. Great. So actually, I saw a question coming in through the chat. So I just wanted to make sure we don't miss that. For George, so is it possible to study and work, for example, on campus to be able to pay full tuition and accommodation?
This is a difficult question. The master is full-time, and as you could hear, the workload is pretty intense because they do a lot of great courses and classes in 1 year. So I don't think it's possible to work and study at the same time. Also, if you are here on a student visa, that would be very difficult.
Yeah, so he has a follow-up question regarding that. Is it possible to convert a student visa to a work permit after graduation?
No, unless a company offers you a job, and then they will do all the process to ask for your visa. Once if you're here on a student visa, the moment you finish the master, you have a few months, and then you have to leave the country.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. That answers those questions. Let's see if we had another one. Yes. Dilnas asked, may I ask, do you require a certain score of GPA?
We don't have a minimum GPA we look for, but of course, we will look at all the transcripts and the votes and make sure that the person will be able to follow our classes.
Let me also add on that for this is as an admission requirement for the program requirement to pass the courses and to graduate, we require a minimum GPA of 3.2.
Okay. Good. I hope that clarifies that question. Okay, I just put in the link, by the way, for the application procedures. There's a link, apply.franklin.edu. So I hope that's getting to the right site for that. Otherwise, Sarah, let me know, just to make sure of that as well. Let's see, there is another question. Yeah, so of course, there was a couple of questions I saw from people asking about scholarships. A popular question. What can you say about that?
As I said earlier, we offer some scholarship. It will not cover the whole amount of the tuition. It's just going to be a little help. And it all depends on the different factors. So the best way is to get in touch with me, have a chat, and then we can see what we can do.
Okay. Thank you. Question from Nai that came in. So I want to know more about the health faculty. Well, that says about the pre-health program, I think, that you're offering as well. Can you say something about that?
yes, the pre-health program is a very interesting program that we offer at undergraduate level. So it's an undergraduate program. It's not a graduate program. It's not a graduate degree. So for that, I would need to get in touch with Sarah that can provide more info about all the undergraduate programs that we offer at Franklin.
Okay, we're getting the thumbs up there as well. So hopefully that's answering that question. And let me see if there's any question in the chat that maybe I have missed. The requirements, and Ranjit asked, I think that has been answered. Let us know otherwise. And we can still jump into that. We still have a couple of minutes left, so if there's any question, then let us know. And yeah, I also want to just highlight the fact that, again, a lot of people watch the recording these days, so you can still answer all the polls as well. You can write questions, you can completely interact with us in this way. So let us know your feedback there as well. And thank you for those people that have already answered the polls. So it's great to see that a lot of you are looking to possibly apply in fall 2024, and some of your backgrounds and interests. Great to see. We just got another question about from Faizan about the student experience and events. Yeah, what can you say about that? Who can answer that? The students, I guess. How is the student experience? Maybe Karina, you've done the program, obviously. How is your overall student experience? What can you say about that? And also maybe include some of the events that maybe were done, or some of your experiences for that.
I think there are a lot of events going on at the campus. There is a big student association for the undergrads, but we are also welcome to be part of their events. And there's this option. There's also an option of some organizations, for example, as Oikos. Oikos, it was very present when I was a student, maybe not so much anymore, but it also joins with other universities, because in Lugano there are other universities as well. So we get this opportunity to interact with the other students from the city as well. So yeah, so it's you can have a pretty busy life with the studies and these extra activities, and it's nice to get to know the other students as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I can add to that. So
yeah.
From a professor's perspective, just watching the students in the class, because the classes are so small, they get to really know each other really well. So I mean, if you go to a big school and there's a class of 100, you might make a friend or two in the class, and at Franklin, the entire class is very close friends. They walk home together, they walk to class together. So I mean, that's always nice to see, and then it spills over into the classroom, because then they work really well together on their projects. And also, in addition, something new that we're introducing this year is a graduate travel, and so we'll be traveling to Geneva and looking at some of the financial regulators there, working with hospital CEOs, and so travel is a big part of Franklin's identity, and we're bringing that to the master's program as well. So that'll be something that really benefits students. It's something that students can really look forward to.
Perfect. Thank you for that addition. That's appreciated. Just to highlight a couple of things, just want to make sure. First of all, Charles, as he just presented, some of the prompts, they are actually available in the handout section at the bottom. If you click on apps, then there is handouts. You can get those prompt sheets that he was showing, so you can download them. And second of all, the right link to apply. Sarah nicely pointed out in the chat. There is the right link. I will actually put it also on the screen. So just to make sure that you have the right link for that, the application procedure to the graduate programs, because that's what we're presenting here. That is the link. If you click now on the screen there, you will be redirected to the right page. So by all means, make sure to do that. And if you're interested to apply, of course. But you can find more information there as well. And with that, we're getting the first thanks and thank you from the audience already. We've just hit the hour, so I think it's time to wrap up the session. So we'll be looking forward to any feedback from you, and hopefully see some of you in one of the Franklin campuses, especially the one that we've presented from in Switzerland. Thanks everyone for having joined. From first of all the audience that joined from a lot of different countries that we saw, but secondly, of course, all the presenters. Thank you very much for all of your time, Charles, Julia, and Mario as the staff, as well as Sarah and the students, Karina and Katarina. Thanks all for your time and your great explanations and presentations today. We appreciate it. And let's round off with the last poll I had. So I will put on the screen to see how we did. So we have a little last question, and I'm going to publish it right now. Going over some of your heads, I'm sorry, but just to see how we did, and hopefully you give us a good mark. But otherwise, let us know any feedback. And we'll gladly take things in consideration, but we hope you found it all useful. Last words, maybe over to one of the staff members. I don't know, maybe the program directors, Julia or Mario, would you like to just wrap it up? Last words over to the audience.
Sure. Thank you all for being with us. I hope that you want to learn more about the program. Please get in touch with Sarah or with Professor Schultz or with myself. You find all our contact details on the website, and we hope to welcome you at Franklin University soon in August.
Great. Thank you, everyone. And bye-bye for now.